Hi, my name is Candace, aka Picasso Baby, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own Whoville Christmas tree. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping back by to paint with me today. So today is day 4 of 5 days of Christmas with Picasso Baby, and today I'm going to be showing you another easy, super fun tutorial that will be simple enough to do with the kids, your friends, your family, and loved ones. We are going to be painting a Whoville Christmas tree. But before we get started, as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and turn on those post notifications so that you do not miss the next tutorial. So I'm going to go over everything that you're going to need for this tutorial. As always, I am working with a 16 by 20 inch canvas, but remember, you can use the canvas size of your choice. You also want to make sure that you have some different size acrylic brushes and a water cup with cold water to wash them out in. And then you just want to make sure you have like a napkin or a rag to dry them off on. And you want to make sure that you have your paint. I'm using the colors Mars Black, Bright Red, Chrome Yellow, Burnt Sienna, Titanium White, and Phthalo Blue. And as always, everything will be linked down in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start by picking my background color because I want to sketch out my Whoville tree. So the background color I'm going to be using is red. Remember, you can use the color of your choice. It's completely up to you. I am working with my biggest brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of red. And what I want to do first is I just want to create almost like a triangle. But keep in mind, the Whoville tree is not super wide. It's on the thinner side and it tips over a bit. So I am going to start in the middle here. And I'm just going to make a pretty slim triangle. Cut that off there. And then from the side here, I am going to take the triangle and tip it over like that. And I'm going to come back just like that. Now, once you have that sketched out, all I'm going to do is start to paint everything around it. So I'm going to keep using my red or whatever your background color is. You're going to paint everything around it. You can even pick up like a little bit of white if you want to lighten your background in some spots, or you can pick up a little bit of red if you want to darken it in some spots. But all you want to do is get your entire background filled in, and then we'll move to the next step together in a few. All right, now once you have your background completely filled in, the next thing we're going to do is start to get the first layer on the tree. Now for this part, I am switching to my medium-sized round brush, and I'm going to be mixing up some green. So on my plate, I'm going to take some of my yellow, and I want to start out with a bit of a darker green. I'm going to add some lighter green a bit later, but I want to start out with a darker green. So I'm using more blue than yellow to give me a nice dark green. And I am going to fill in my tree. Now I'm going to fill in my tree by creating wisps. So I'm going to start at the bottom and build my way up, or you can start at the top and build your way down. But you want to make sure that the top goes out shorter and the bottom is the widest part. So I'm going to start at the bottom so I can see how wide I want my tree to be. And what I do to fill it in is I just create these wisps going outside of the tree. Now for the center, you can just simply go in and fill that in, but when you get to the edge, you want to create these wisps going outside of the tree. Now keep in mind, as you are building up, you want it to get shorter. Or if you are building down, you want it to get wider. And as you're working, you'll see, if you notice, some of my background color is going into my tree. That is completely fine. You just want to keep on building up. So again, the most important part is making sure you pull out those wisps on the side and make sure it gets shorter as you go up. Now, as you get to the top of the tree, we are going to be adding some ornaments and a star to the top of the tree. So if it's not completely perfect at the top, that's okay. But you do want to just make sure once you get to the top, just pull it to a point. See, I just pulled that point, curved over, just pull it to a point. All right, now I do want to go in and add some lighter green. So right on my plate, I'm going to take some more yellow and mix it into my green. I'm also going to take some white to lighten it up a bit. And I'm just going to go through. And the same way I was doing those little wisps, I'm going to do the same thing. And you don't have to do a whole, like, don't cover all of your dark green, but you just want to go in and do just enough to make the tree stand out. All right. Now, once you have enough of that lighter green, I'm going to go in with an even lighter green one more time. So I'm going to take some more white, mix it in. And I am just going to make more little lines. I'm not going to do as much of the white as I did of the lighter green, or as much of the lightest green as I did of the medium tone green, because I just want it to be like little highlights on the tree. So I'm going to spread those across sparingly. And once you have your background and your tree on, the last thing I want to do is create my tree stump. And I'm not going to wash my brush. I'm actually going to go right into my brown. I'm going to take a little bit of black and mix it with some of my brown just to make it a little darker. And I am just going to pull my tree trunk down. So I'm pulling 2 lines down and I'm going to fill it in. All right, now once you've done that, we do have to let these dry. So as always, you can grab yourself a blow dryer and blow dry it, or you can give yourself a 10 to 15 minute break to let it dry completely, and then we'll come back and start on the next step together in a few.
3 days later.
Now that our trees are completely dry, it's time to go in and do some decorating and really make this our Whoville tree. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to get some details in white in. So I'm using my smallest brush, my smallest round brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of white. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to be pulling the Grinch's arm out of the tree. So from the side, and you can choose which side you want it to come out of, I am going to pull 2 little lines here. At the end of those lines, I am going to make almost like a little rectangle. And I'm going to fill those in. And then from there, I am going to pull out his hand. So I'm just going to curve a little line over. I'm going to curve one under there. And I'm just going to pull some little lines in the middle like that. I'm going to pull the bottom line down just a little bit longer there. All right, we're going to leave that as is. Now I'm going to also add on the tree topper in white first, just to give it a base layer. If you want to do the yellow star, feel free to do the yellow star. It's completely up to you. I'm going to do a red ornament at the top. So I am going to make a really big white circle, or you can make the ornament shape of your choice. I am also going to go through and add some little white circles on the tree that we'll decorate a little bit later. And you can do as many or as few of these as you like. It's completely up to you. All right. Now, once you have enough of the white ornaments, you have the Grinch's hand coming out, you have the ornament or your star at the top. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to add some different color ornaments. So I want to start with yellow, and I'm not washing my brush. I'm actually going to take some more white and mix it with a little bit of yellow to make my yellow a little bit lighter, or more like a pastel yellow. And I'm just going to go through and add some little circles for ornaments. And remember, you can add as many or as few as you like, and you can add them where you like. Even if you want some like hanging off the Christmas tree, you can do that as well. Now I'm just going to do a few yellow because we're going to go in and add some more colors. The next color I'm going to go into is I'm going to go right into my red. I'm going to mix up some white with my red as well. The more white you add, the lighter it will be. So if you don't want it to really be like a pink, don't add too much white. I want mine on the lighter side, so I am adding more white to it to lighten it up. And then I'm going to go through and add in my red ornaments. Now from there, I am going to go into blue, and you can wash your brush off for this part. I'm not going to wash it, but you can wash your brush. I'm going to take some white and some of my blue because I want to make a bit of a lighter blue. I want it to stand out on my tree. So now I'm going in with blue circles. Now, if you want more colors, you can go in with as many colors as you like. The last color I'm going to add, I am going to add a little bit of purple. The only reason I'm not going to do any green is because I have different shades of green on my tree. But if you would like to add green, feel free to do so. I am going to take some red and mix it in with that lighter blue. And I'm going to add a little white to it just to lighten it up. And I'm going to add a few purple ornaments. Now once you have enough of your ornaments and all of the colors that you like, I am going to wash my brush out because we're going to keep using this smallest brush. And now I want to go back in and start to add some other colors in, especially where I did the white at. Now, if you like the white ornaments as is, you can leave them just how they are, or you can add a little bit of detail to them. So I'm just going to add some little swirls inside of them. So I'm going to start at the center and make a swirl going out. I'm going to do that on each of my white ornaments. Swirl at the center, go out. Almost like a little peppermint candy. Now, while I'm working with this red, I'm also going to go ahead and fill in my ornament. Remember, I said I was doing a red ornament. And because I did that layer of white, it will show up on my background. But if you did a yellow ornament, you can switch to your yellow. Or if you did the star, you can switch to your yellow and fill it in. And once you have your ornament at the top filled in, your tree topper filled in, the next thing I'm going to do is fill in the Grinch's sleeve. But because I do have that red background, I want to make his sleeve a little bit darker. So I am going to use red and a little bit of black. And I'm still using my smallest brush, but I'm using red and a little bit of black. And I'm just going to fill in the top of the sleeve. Remember, there is white fur on the end of the sleeve, that little rectangle that we made at the end. So I'm not going to fill that in, but I'm going to fill just the arm in. Now, once you have all of that filled, we're going to wash our brush because now I want to mix up the green for his hand. Now, this green is going to be a lot lighter, so I'm only taking a little bit of blue and mixing it in with a really good amount of yellow because I want it to be a really bright green. I think that looks pretty Grinchy. And I'm not filling in the cuff or the end of the sleeve there. I am just filling in where we put his hand coming out. All right. Now, once you have done that, if you like yours where it is, you can leave it as is. I'm going to add a few more very, very quick details. So I'm going to wash my brush one more time. And I'm going in with just white this time. So the first thing I'm going to do is throughout my tree, I'm going to make some little white dots. You can definitely leave that part off if you like. It's up to you. So I'm just adding little white dots, spreading them out all over the tree. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few little white highlights. So the first one I'm going to do is right on the tree trunk. I'm just going to do a quick little white line for a highlight there. I'm also going to add one on the ornament here to help it stand out more. And I'm going to add one on the Grinch's arm. Now, if you would like anything else, if you would like any words, any extra details, you can add whatever you'd like. The last thing you want to do once you are completely finished is sign your name. So you can sign your signature or initials. I am just doing my initials right in the corner. And once you have signed your painting, you now have your very own Whoville Christmas tree. Thank you all so much for painting with me today. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you are enjoying your holiday season with your friends, family, and loved ones. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on those post notifications and I will see you in the next tutorial.